It's World Post Day, and the Legany Post Office is celebrating with the opening of its Internet Cafe. The area boasts 3 workstations and will offer internet surfing, printing, scanning, and photocopying services. Just another example of government's thrust to increase internet access for members of the public. And another public-private sector partnership in action. Welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I am Theodore Henry. More of that kind of solution-oriented initiative during our show, plus honoring our educators. As usual, we start off with a very important message.
Chikungunya is a viral infection transmitted when an Aedes aegypti mosquito bites an infected person and then bites someone else. Symptoms include high fever, headache, joint pain, muscle pain, and rash. If you suspect that you've been infected, take paracetamol such as Panadol, Cetamol, and Tylenol. Infants, children under 5 years old, pregnant women, the elderly, persons with sickle cell, and chronic illnesses such as diabetes and cardiovascular disease are at risk for more severe symptoms and must see a doctor for proper evaluation and monitoring. Fortunately, most cases of CHIKV are mild, but if your symptoms worsen, you need to see a doctor. For more info, call 1-888-1-LOVE from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. That number again, 1-888-663-5683.
Good day, I'm Carrie-Ann Smith and this is your JIS News for Thursday, October 9. The Ministries of Health and Education have organized the national cleanup period from October 15 to 22 to tackle mosquito breeding sites, particularly in schools. The action is in response to the chikungunya outbreak affecting the country. In a notice to schools on Wednesday, the Education Ministry said the cleanup exercise was being planned to coincide with the midterm break. Following the exercise, schools are advised to put plans in place to prevent new breeding sites. In the meantime, schools are also advised to contact the Medical Officer of Health at the Parish Health Department to arrange fogging at their institutions if necessary. For its part, the ministry will be making paracetamols available to schools through the Education Regional Offices, while parents are urged to keep children home if they're affected by chikungunya. A decision is to be taken regarding students who missed critical class time due to CHIKV to arrange make-up sessions to prepare for examinations. Meanwhile, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, has released 2 additional phone numbers for members of the public to report suspected CHIKV cases and provide information on possible mosquito breeding sites in their community. Persons are asked to call 833-0629 or 838-5320. This is in addition to the 754-9077 number released on Tuesday. The challenges associated with ODPEM's toll-free line have been addressed, and the public can again call 1-888-225-5637. They can also contact the Ministry of Health's Emergency Operations Center at 1-888-663-5683 from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. ODPEM is encouraging persons to report likely breeding sites in their surroundings, as the information helps in determining the fogging schedule. In other news, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller is calling on more local companies to innovate and transform their companies to remain relevant in the changing business landscape. The Prime Minister was speaking as she toured and opened Red Stripe's heat and power plant Wednesday.
We need more companies, big and small, to follow the example of Red Stripe, to look at how to retool their businesses. They need to re-examine how they may improve their internal processes and become more global in their outlook.
With the installation of the combined heat and power plant, Red Stripe will be able to produce at US 18 cents per kilowatt hour. Mrs. Simpson Miller lauded the company for other investments, which include their Learning for Life project, which has impacted 11,000 Jamaicans. She also commended the establishment of a cassava pilot project, which trains 2,000 student farmers and puts 2,500 acres of land into production. Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips is in Washington to attend the annual International Monetary Fund, IMF, and World Bank board meetings. Dr. Phillips and his team will hold discussions with officials from both multilateral agencies as well as representatives from the Inter-American Development Bank. He will also represent Jamaica at a number of caucus meetings. Discussion topics include private partnerships for public service delivery, how to restore trust in a financial system, and the challenges for job-rich and exclusive growth. Dr. Phillips is accompanied by Jamaica's ambassador to the United States, His Excellency Stephen Vassiani, Governor of the Bank of Jamaica Brian Winter, Director General of the Planning Institute of Jamaica Colin Bullock, and Financial Secretary Devon Rowe. The delegation will return to the island on Monday, October 13. Chairman of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission, Gary Peart, says recent changes to the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act have yielded positive results for the sector. Among other things, he says the Commission has been receiving a number of inquiries both locally and overseas.
The number of licenses, especially in areas that has now been enabled by the legislative changes, is also on the increase, and we expect that within another 6 months or so, we will see additional entrepreneurs coming on board, which ultimately would increase the revenues, not just for themselves, but to the government coffers.
Mr. Peart was speaking on Tuesday as the BGLC signed a memorandum of understanding with the JCF's Organized Crime Investigative Division to tackle illegal gaming practices in Jamaica. The Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act, which was amended in May, makes provisions for online gaming and mobile betting while implementing a fixed penalty system for those who break the law. These and other changes to the Act will help the Commission to collect over $1 billion in taxes during this fiscal year. And finally, 8 proposals from fund managers have been pre-qualified for entry into the Jamaica Venture Capital Fund. In February 2013, the Development Bank of Jamaica DBJ established a venture capital program to provide equity financing and technical advice to small and medium-sized enterprises. Then between July and September this year, the bank issued a call for proposals inviting individuals and entities wishing to invest in companies operating in Jamaica. On Tuesday, the DBJ said the response to the call showed that investors were interested in doing business with Jamaican companies. The proposals from local and international interests will now move to the next stage of the selection process. And that's it for GIS News Today. I'm Carrie-Ann Smith. Thanks for watching.
Jamaicans from all walks of life. We must save energy and help the Jamaican economy. Energy saving, we say. Today. Ease up on the energy, up on the energy. Save today, protect tomorrow. Ease up on the energy, up on the energy. Save today, protect tomorrow. Energy saving is not a maybe, it's a must.
The Ministry of Agriculture continues to build self-reliance among farmers, most recently through training to manage the beet armyworm pest. 150 St. Elizabeth farmers took part in the training as part of the Strengthening a National Beet Armyworm program. Due to interventions like that, infestation of the deadly pest has declined to under 5%. Last year, another 22 farmers were also trained. Derek Lee was among their numbers. Up next, he shares his experience.
Empowering farmers through training so they can take decisive action and become part of the solution process to issues affecting agriculture. The Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries has been working towards this objective through strategic partnerships. And the results? Growing success in critical areas, such as the crucial fight against the dreaded beet armyworm. Periodic outbreaks of the beet armyworm have hurt St. Elizabeth farmers since the 1990s. In 2009, a dreadful attack ravaged acres of crops in South St. Elizabeth. And when it was all over in 2011, the livelihood of many farmers had been destroyed.
I have to go through the whole field, like how you see this field, go through it and cut off everything. Everything. And destroy it. Because if you don't destroy it, what's gonna happen is like when you cover the beet armyworm, them they stay under there and then they turn into mud. The mud them come back, fly out, and then they come back reinfest.
More active in warm climate, The beet armyworm feeds on the leaves and can strip the plants. They also attack buds and new growth on plants, which prevent flowers from opening, new leaves from sprouting, and vegetables from developing. The most recent outbreak in 2012 resulted in the destruction of some 45 hectares of crops, including scallion, pepper, and onion, valued at approximately $31 million.
This could, of course, not be allowed to go unchecked. We could not afford to allow the beet armyworm to threaten livelihoods and undermine advancements made in the productivity and import substitution programs, especially in the parish of St. Elizabeth, which has traditionally produced some 85% of local onions.
So the ministry took action in October 2012, launching the Strengthening a National Beet Armyworm Program. With funding from the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, to the tune of $213,000, farmers in St. Elizabeth were taught how to better manage the pest.
The training was very important because we learned things that we never have any idea what was going on. I think I prepared enough. I have much understanding what to do and what to look for.
The training was carried out by the Jamaica Rural Economy and Ecosystems Adapting to Climate Change JAREACH project. It was done under the Farmer Field School with technical assistance from the United States Agency for International Development. In August 2013, 22 farmers and 8 extension officers of the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, graduated as certified integrated pest management facilitators.
You are now equipped to share knowledge with a wider circle of farmers in the ways and means of identifying and managing and controlling the beet armyworm, which has emerged as a major pest over recent times.
They, along with other trained colleagues, will now go on to train over 150 farmers across Jamaica.
Their role is to actually go and establish new schools or other schools within the various communities that they are from.
You have some farmer who go in this field and then just weed out the bush here. Just weed the bush here and them leaf and them gone. Them not really find 2 leaf and pick them and crush them, destroy it. Them leave it. That is not the way, because if you leave them there, they're gonna manifest themselves.
This knowledge base is equipping farmers with the skills needed to manage their own field and, in the long run, become experts in the fight against the beet armyworm and other threats.
It feels good and it's very important. You know, as a farmer, like a small farmer, and then you learn a lot of things. You feel good to know that you learn something, so you can teach back somebody what you learn.
Trained RADA facilitators will also mentor these farmers and guide them in their new role as local community agents of change.
Our mandate of such is to actually monitor and assist these farmers in enabling to deliver the information in a way that it is acceptable and true to the Farmer Field School methodology.
The work that you all did and the learning by doing approach, I think, and I have found, is the best way that you can take a methodology that's evolved and designed in a lab or in a classroom, but until it's in the field, as we just heard, until it's actually conveyed to the farmers, it will do no good and it will change no harvest practices.
With increased production in agri-parks across the island, finding a present and lasting solution to the beet armyworm is even more important to sustaining growth in the sector.
The knowledge and skills you have acquired will now serve to bolster national efforts to combat the impact of the pest on the cultivation and production of such crops as onion and scallion.
We are preparing our minds in the agricultural sector for change.
It's a great feeling to be a part of the solution that the ministry has embarked on to actually assist the farmers in controlling or managing the beet armyworm.
The Ministry of Agriculture, building resilient farmers to grow the sector with knowledge and skill, sharing information and managing pest invasions, protecting their livelihood and securing the growth of a nation.
sweet Jamaica, we not left ya. Tough yam and banana, we not left ya.
Finger-licking jerk chicken, Helsha fish and bami, will run down yam and banana, roast bread fruit, sweet potato pudding. Jamaica food sweet. So let's make a pledge to use more local produce and less foreign goods. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow.
Sweet, sweet Jamaica, we not left ya.
They are the nurturers and developers of our minds, mentors and caregivers, lecturers and dream pushers. Who am I talking about? The nation's teachers, hardworking individuals who give selfless service to the education sector. As the National Honors and Awards approaches, many will be acknowledged. We have highlights of those who were honored in 2012. Take a look.
Shapers of our minds, pillars of our destiny, and executors of our dreams. We call them teacher, miss, sir, and educator. But the impact they have on our lives leaves us with one other name, hero.
There's a hero if you look inside your heart.
Yeah, I really consider them as heroes because what they know, they try to make you know it. And really and truly, I really respect that of them.
They are the ones who groom the younger ones, the younger minds to develop a better nation.
They deserve to be honored.
Close to 20 of those educators were singled out recently and awarded various badges and medals for their outstanding contribution to education during the 2012 National Honors and Awards ceremony. From early childhood specialists, math teachers, trainers of teachers, and those giving of themselves voluntarily to lecturers at the university level, they're all important assets to our development as a nation. Here's a profile of a few of these distinguished citizens of our soil.
Mrs. Pauline Evan Watson Campbell.
Dedicated to children with special needs, Pauline Watson Campbell has served in the field of developmental assessment and occupational therapy for years. She also established the McCam Child Development Center in Kingston.
Mr. Winston Wellington.
A facilitator of education, Mr. Wellington has built close to 20 libraries island-wide and stocked them with books. Meanwhile, veteran Nellie Wellington has given over 43 years in service as an educator at the New Green Basic School in Manchester.
Being a teacher is not just going to the classroom and doing what you do in the classroom for that 9 to 5 or for that particular period. You go home, you have to be marking papers, you have to be putting your syllabus together, you have to be planning your curriculum, and at the same time managing your families.
The role of the teacher goes beyond pen and paper. Apart from parents, they are the main source of knowledge and values for students. Described as a firm but gentle administrator, many of Mrs. Williams's former students credit her for their ability to understand mathematics. Now a retired vice principal of Manchester High School, this educator has left a legacy in the teaching of mathematics. For 4 decades, this dedicated teacher has been molding the minds of students and preparing them for their common entrance and GSAT exams. Throughout her teaching career, Mrs. Sonia Neal has written and coordinated internal syllabuses for several disciplines for schools in which she has worked. She also coordinated the language arts curriculum in the reform of secondary education program. Mrs. Neal taught English and Spanish at the senior level and holds a Master of Education degree from the University of the West Indies.
I feel good to know that they are recognized for the work they are doing, because you know they put out a lot. Yeah. Because remember when school holiday, they are still at school, you know. Yeah, man.
The minds of students are not the only ones that need to be sharpened. Teachers also have to keep themselves abreast of new and updated information. And it will take one from their own profession to teach them, one such as Dr. Vinetta Carter. Dr. Carter has established professional resource centers in schools to encourage teachers to increase their knowledge base, to improve reading. She also initiated the 17th World Congress in Reading in Jamaica, which attracted 1,200 educators from 52 countries.
If we have no educators, then we might as well just give up right here and then, you know. So in that sense, I think they are very important and we need to treat them as such.
Great teachers help create great students. In fact, it's said that an inspiring and informed teacher is the most important school-related factor for influencing student achievement. Let us continue to show our respect and appreciation for these great molders and shapers of our lives.
Hi, I'm Shauna Helps, Women's Girls School National Junior Sprinter. By now, you should know about the Tablets in School pilot project, in which students and teachers in 38 schools across Jamaica are provided with tablet computers by the government. This message is for those students who will benefit. Remember that the main purpose of the tablets is for improving education. Be conscious of your environment. Don't show off by using it on the road, while walking, or on the bus. Wait until you are at home or in a safe place, and do not use it when you are eating or drinking. Food and liquid on your device will ruin your chance of enjoying the most from it. Students, if you take care of your tablet, it will take care of you.
As the Tablet in Schools pilot project continues to roll out across the country, there's a strong warning against the posting of things on social media websites. The Prime Minister issued that warning herself, and we here at the JIS are strengthening that call with our next feature, which speaks to the pros and the cons of social media.
Do you remember a time when long-distance communication was limited to telegrams or letters? Or when you would walk a mile or two to send or receive mail? Well, today, things are so much different. The luxury of instant communication is today being enjoyed by just about everyone, from the toddler to the elderly. Just imagine being able to communicate or do business with anyone, anywhere in the world, without going to them. And with the use of Facebook, Twitter, BlackBerry Messenger, YouTube, and so many others, the medium expands even greater. Businesses and individuals have capitalized on this wave of social media network to either push their products and services or just to socialize.
I'm hooked up on Facebook. I am a part of Twitter, Facebook, MySpace.
I'm on Facebook. I'm on the YouTube site.
Well, for me, it helped me to communicate with my friends here in Jamaica and those that left.
As an artist that's seeking some promotion, I use it for exposure.
With everything comes responsibility. So while being attached to the social media circle may be all about the pleasure or business, it doesn't hurt to exercise a little caution.
I've seen a lot of persons posting that, kids especially, and they'll give a lot of information because they're vulnerable. And they say they'll be at Sovereign, nobody's home, we'll be on vacation. And it poses a real risk, really, for persons to breach their houses, steal, and that kind of stuff. Oftentimes, we have also had reports of children being exploited. We have had cases where we have seen persons downloading pictures of kids. So what happened, they'll download these kids, they'll morph their faces on nude bodies, and they'll tell them that, listen, you don't have sex with me, I'll post the pictures.
For those of you who don't know, Foursquare is a location-based website. I can check in and say, I'm at Chilitos, but there are some inherent risks, especially from a location standpoint, telling somebody I'm at Scotia ATM, Ligani, which I've seen a lot of these things show up on Foursquare, and it got so bad. There was a website called pleaserob.me that was done, and all it did was just collate people's check-ins at locations related to money, and the website was done to scare people and have them realize there's actually a risk in checking in at home. Marketing is great. Understand the risk before you dive in.
What scares me the most is that there's companies out there right now that are building data warehouses full of your information. For example, your daughter, your son, they took a picture inside your house. Well, that picture that's posted out on some of these social media on there, they have what they call EXIF data in it. You probably deal with that. EXIF data, which has the latitude and longitude of where that picture was taken. If that picture was taken in your house, guess what? I know where you live.
One thing to remember in all this is that social media networks were not created to harm persons, but there are individuals who manipulate the systems for illegitimate reasons. So here's a look at some ways you can be social and stay safe. Be careful of who you accept as friends. Think twice before sharing personal information that could make you vulnerable. Posting your birth date, cell phone number, or home address anywhere online puts you at greater risk. This is where you could customize your settings to restrict access only to certain users. And some useful tips for parents. Encourage your child to tell you if they are uncomfortable or threatened by an experience. Explain to your child that photographs can reveal a lot of personal information, and insist that your child never meets anyone in person that they have communicated with online. But that's not all there is to social networking. The personal benefits of this fast-growing trend are that you are able to increase your social status by making new friends and forging new relationships. By creating a professional profile, one may also be recruited by companies seeking individuals with your expertise. So, as technology evolves and helps to simplify certain areas of our lives, so too must we adapt and embrace the challenge, squeezing every ounce of profitability while still remaining vigilant.
Schools, colleges, businesses need research material for the upcoming heritage celebrations? Look no further. The Jamaica Information Service has all the heritage items you need. Books, flags, posters, CDs and DVDs. Don't wait until the last minute. Get your material today. Visit the Jamaica Information Service at 58A Halfway Tree Road, Kingston, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mondays to Thursdays, and 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. on Fridays. Come in, call, or click to place your order. Email research@jis.gov.jm or call 926-359024.
National Heritage Week begins in 2 days. That means you are running out of time to prepare by checking out our research materials on our heritage and national heroes. So call our research and publication department at 926-374024 or our television department at 922-868022. We have a rich archive and catalog to share with you. Our website is another source for information you may need, so log on to jis.gov.jm and start that search today. And while you're online, send us your feedback via email to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm or a tweet at JIS News. Join us again tomorrow, same time, same station. On behalf of the production crew, I am Theodore Henry. Take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.